once you go through this process, it just makes you want to give back. It does. So that's why I don't want people to give up when it does get hard, because there's going to always be someone for you to benefit from. I mean, there's always going to be someone that could benefit from what you've gone through. And it doesn't matter. Like, one of my favorite quotes from Tupac was, it's not my job to change the world. He said, I'm not going to change the world, but I guarantee you I spark the brain of the person that does. I put that quote in my book, Epitome of the Mind. And I think that's a good book if you should pick it up and take a read on that. It's like, it breaks down a lot of things that are about mindset, and he gives you different things that you can do in that book to achieve whatever goal it is outside of what I'm giving you right now. But it's just like, man, don't give up too soon, man. Don't give up on what it is that you're trying to do simply because it gets hard and then you don't see the fruits of your labor. And I've said this before too, like when you plant a seed in the ground or when you do anything, look at a seed, for instance, the tree don't grow overnight. Like it takes so much time for a tree to grow and start bearing fruit. And when you're doing business, when you're planting seeds in yourself, whether it be mindset, whether it be your business growing, whatever it is, it's going to take time to manifest. Like anything, I always talk about the natural laws of life. There's laws to everything. Think about grass growing. Think about trees growing. Think about when animals are born. That process is the same when it comes to a business. It's nothing going to be any different. Whatever you create, whenever you create something, it's going to go through the same laws of nature. Doesn't matter what it is. Again, it's going to be the same process. So you can't shortcut that in any facet on this particular earth. You can't do anything. You can't do nothing like that. So don't try to shortcut the path of creation in any facet because it's not going to work. So you're going to give up. Like that's like you plant a seed and then the tree's almost growing and you just go out there and cut the tree down because it didn't grow fast enough. So now what? Your family going to starve or you can't, have the right harvest because you cut the tree down? Like you don't want to have these type of situations. But anyway, I'm going to show you all the roadmap and what I think you need to do. So here we go. You all know I love integrative psychology and NLP because it changed my life powerfully, like in a major way. And it changed everyone's lives around mine simply because I grew as a person and I now have the tools and resources to be able to help other people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so like a lot of times people struggle with limiting beliefs. And when you grow up in a certain environment, it's hard for you to see something. You can't be what you can't see. And so like when you're growing up in a certain environment, if you only just see, the first person I saw that had a bunch of money was a drug dealer from Florida. He had platinum in his mouth. He had a Lexus on 20s. And this was back in like the 90s. So this was like he had money. And so like for me, that was just my perception. And then it was like basketball. My cousin played ball. So this is the idea that I had. So my belief was so limited in capacity with how far that I could see myself going. Right. And then it wasn't until I got in my 20s that I saw, and had a relationship with the first Black millionaire that I knew. Right. And I had access to him, went to his house. He gave me books to read. Like it was just a whole different mindset shift for me. And so it's like most people have a limiting belief on whatever it is that they can do. And that's the main component that needs to be fixed before someone can move forward and achieve like what they see on social media. Before you can achieve the lifestyle that you want of being a multimillionaire or turning your YouTube channel into like this major YouTube channel, if that's something you want to do, or building a multi-million-dollar business or having a relationship that you want, or whatever it is, you have to believe that you can do it. If you do not believe it, it's impossible. Just by the natural laws of life, it is impossible for you to achieve it because you can't believe in the fact that it can happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't even know how to say that even more, that if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. So you have to have, we do something that I've done with this is a program that I do with the people that I coach. You have to have a session where you change that person's belief. It's a belief discoverer where you go through and you change this person's limiting belief into what they really believe that they can do. So you go through a process of where you have someone discover what it is they want to do, and then you do something where they really believe that they can do it. You have to go through a process of where you transition from your current state and your current belief system to a completely different belief system. And then once you do that, you have to self-reflect. You go through a self-reflection, And then you realize all the things that I just said, all the things in your past that held you back that you didn't believe. So you have to self-reflect and be like, all right, why do I feel this way? Or why do I think this way about myself if there's no evidence to support what it is that I believe? Like, there's no evidence to support the fact that you can't go out and start a business. There's 1,000 people that look just like you or me that have created businesses that are making millions, or they have quit their job, or whatever your thing is. If there's someone that looks like you that are doing it, then you could do it too. It's just the fact that you don't believe that you can. And so you have to do a self-reflection and be like, you know what? I'm going to change that perception of myself. I'm going to reframe that belief that I have around me not being able to do something. You have a challenge toolkit that will challenge all of everything that I just said. It's going to challenge any negative belief that you had around yourself. You get that. You get all of this. You're going to get activities. You have to have activities. This doesn't happen overnight. You can't just be like, you know what? I'm going to just change the way I believe about myself. I wish it was that easy, because someone can just reframe. It is, but you have to do certain activities for a certain period of time to change that. You have to challenge your mindset. And you have affirmation builder, and that's one of the ways that it happens. You have to give yourself self-affirmations that you do daily. And there's something else in addition to affirmations that I'm not going to tell you that you have to do. But most people know that you have affirmations. That's a common thing that people know, that you have to speak to yourself. But there's another thing that you have to do in addition to that. So you have to go through this process of what I just said. And you get the affirmations, you get the activities, you have success visualizer. Nipsey, when I visualize success, it looks like right now. Ocean Views, I love that song because he breaks down so many different things in that song. So like, pull up Nipsey's song Ocean Views and you'll hear kind of what I'm saying. Like, he talks about a couple different things that people need to really listen to. And I think he breaks it down so good in a song, and that I think that's easy for people to relate to, So pull up Ocean Views. I like that song. I'm just saying, like, that'll help you. When it comes to visualize success, you have to visualize success. And it's like this. In order for you to walk to your car, what do you have to do? You have to visualize yourself walking to your car. In order for you to go to the kitchen and get something to eat, you got to visualize yourself getting up and going to the kitchen. Whatever you do, you have to think about it in your mind before you do it. So that's what visualization is. When you're trying to achieve a goal, you set the goal, you go through the whole process of believing, you go through the affirmations, you go through all of this, and then you visualize yourself on the stage. You visualize yourself doing what it is that you want to do. And that's how you get there. But we give you different steps and we give you different exercises, how you to really, really visualize what it is. Like, there's a certain state that you have to be in, and it could be music. It could be light in the room has to be a certain way. I think a certain temperature also helps. So all of these things play into your visualization. That's just for me. Other people visualize things differently. I don't want to be like, this is as one end all be all for visualization. I just know what has worked for me in the past. And then for people that I've coached, and they said the same thing worked for them. But overall, visualization is a thing. I think I saw this one study that said this guy put these brain stimulus things on a person and they visualize themselves winning the Olympics, because your brain doesn't know what's real or what's fake. Like, when your eyes are closed, it doesn't know. So visualization is huge. And then you have the goal blueprint. Obviously, you have goals. You got to have a blueprint around how you're going to achieve those goals. That goes back to the plan. Once you have a blueprint, you have a plan or a strategy to hit that goal. And then you got to have a bounce back. That goes back to what I just said. It's not going to go as planned. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. How many times have you done something in life, or you planned something in life, and it didn't go exactly as you planned? Everybody can say that. I don't think nobody goes into a relationship expecting that the relationship to end. I don't think they're going into a relationship expecting it to be a divorce or get married. I don't think anybody starts a business in the idea that it's going to fail. I don't think anybody does any of this. So you got to have a bounce back system in place. What are you going to do when this doesn't happen? People will lose motivation when they're doing something and it doesn't work out and they feel defeated. That's the quickest way. And that's why most businesses or most people don't succeed, because once they hit that wall of where it doesn't work out, they don't have a bounce back system in place that'll get them back on the horse for them to keep riding. They just be like, oh, I'm devastated. It didn't work out. Then some people go into depression. Some people commit suicide because they don't have a bounce back system in place for when whatever it is that life throws at you. You got to have something in place for you to be able to be like, oh, that hurt. I'm going to get back up though, right? And I'm going to be stronger than I was before. And you have a mindfulness compass that goes back to what I said. You can see how going through this whole entire roadmap, you're going to have your mind got to be right. Your mind's got to be right, and it's got to be going in a particular direction. So there's tools and resources that you need in order for you to be able to go through and have a mindfulness compass to point you in the right direction of what you need to be in, depending on what particular state you're in, depending on what's going on at the time. And when you're coming off a bounce back from something, you have to have a particular mindset that you need to be in. So this compass points you in that direction, depending on what the situation is. That's what we do. And then last but not least, when you're doing any of this, you have to have a support system. A support system is so important with you being able to adapt, bounce back, believe what you can believe. Everything on here, you can see why a support system is needed. So we show you how to build a support network. It's going to involve coaching. It's going to involve you changing your environment. It's going to involve you, changing your algorithm on social media. It's going to involve a bunch of different things that you need to do in order for you to really make it from A to where support network is. You got to go through the process to get to A to B. There's so many different things that you got to go through and so many roadblocks that you're going to have. And you can see why you need every single one of these if you want to be successful and achieve whatever goal it is. It's not as easy as people think. And I really want to point that out. And you probably heard a bunch of other people say this to you, a bunch of other mentors tell you, or coaches or people on YouTube tell you that, man, it's so hard. You probably heard the same story, man. Like if everybody that's successful, whether it be an actor, whether it be an artist, whether it be an NBA player, whoever has been successful in any industry or any career field, they have said the same exact thing. Everybody's story's been the same. I put the work in. I had a plan. I had this. I had this. They all had the same thing. So it won't be anything different from you. Like, what makes you so special or what makes me so special? Nothing. We all have the same brain. It's just about what are we doing? What are we doing with our resources? What are we doing with our tools? What are we doing with our knowledge? Are we getting more? You got to be getting better every single day. So you got to be leveling up your network, your environment, your resources, your tools, your knowledge all the time. Like, you got to be a consistent or a lifetime learner when it comes to being successful in life. That's just how it goes. Like, you can't go from 9th grade to the 12th grade without going through some kind of knowledge increase, right? And taking tests to be able to get there. Like, why would life be any different? Why would success be any different? So belief shifts, you got the goal realization, and you got empowered growth. That's the roadmap. This is the way you do it. I gave you 7 steps to be able to go through what you got to go through. But the Confidence Catalyst is a program that we've created. It's backed by science. It's backed by different neurological language patterns that you need to change in order for you to really get yourself out of your own way for you to be successful. And again, I gave you 7 steps. But you need more than that. You need a coach. You need a roadmap. You need a plan. You need a step-by-step guide. Most people need that. I didn't think I did. I thought I could do it all on my own. And then, I didn't get to the NBA, right? Because I didn't know. I didn't know all the steps that I needed. It didn't happen. I tried out for the summer league. I did everything I was supposed to do that I thought I was supposed to do, and it didn't work out because I didn't have a plan. That changed for me when I got into real estate. I got a mentor, I got a coach, and I'm super successful. Obviously, I'm successful because I got a real estate app, I got a lending company, I got flips, I got houses, like I've done it all. I've done Airbnb, I've done everything. I even got properties in other countries. So obviously, when I got a plan and a roadmap and I got a coach or a mentor for real estate, it changed my entire life. So I didn't make it to the league because I didn't have the coach, I didn't have the plan, and then I got one, and then I made it to the league in essence when it comes to business, right? I'm doing a lot. I'm doing more than most people have ever done because I got a coach and I got a mentor. I took what I learned and I just expounded upon it from my coach. My coach he had software. He didn't create a global mobile app, but he created software that people can use to make a lot of money from it. Obviously, to help me out, he created a coaching program that made tons of people millionaires, right? He has a mentorship program, $1 million mentorship program. He's done his thing and I've done mine, but I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing without him. Even with business, I knew about business. I worked at a bank. I was a banker for 10 years, and me working in a profession didn't give me the tools and resources that I need to make money in the financial services industry. It didn't, right? Me doing mortgages for people didn't give me the tools that I needed to come out here and do real estate and become a real estate investor. You would think that a person working at the bank and helping people make money and doing all these things would know how to do this. It's not the case. It's not a given. That's like a teacher being able to go out there and teach somebody how to make money in the stock market. Just because they're a teacher doesn't mean they know how to teach someone how to make money or do something else. They're good at whatever particular subject that it is. You gotta have a coach or a mentor to get you to wherever you're trying to go. That's just bottom line what it is. If you want to get there in a shorter amount of time. Like I said, I did it, but it took me a long time to get there. So I would much rather, even now when I do certain things, I'm getting a coach. Like I got multiple coaches and mentors. That's why I'm doing social media content right now, because I got a coach and I got a program, and he had a whole playbook on exactly what I needed to do to create social media content, a posting schedule, a content calendar. I mean, it gave me everything that I needed. And that's why you can see in this year alone, I'm creating way more content because he gave me everything that I needed. And so that's why if my YouTube channel or my content creation becomes so successful, I'm not going to sit here and say it was because I did it. I put the work in. I paid for a course. I paid for a coach. Like, yeah, I did what I'm supposed to do. So I should be successful because this person spent 10 years perfecting this and then giving me the step-by-step guide or the roadmap to be able to do it. That's all I'm doing. I'm shortcutting people's time to become a business owner, get into real estate, and change their mindset from whatever it is before. I'm cutting it down. And I'm like, in 90 days, you're going to be a beast. You're going to be a beast in less than 90 days because you're going to have the activities and everything to do so. And I'm going to coach you up. But some people they might be, self-starters, and some people might need more help than other people, right? I'm a self-starter. I'm going to get it cracking, right? That's just what I do. And it comes to sports, business. I'm notorious for following up with people to a point of where I'm annoyingly persistent. And that's what you kind of got to do when you're trying to become successful. And so I'm going to guarantee you, if I'm your coach or your mentor, if you want to get there in a week, I'm going to get you there in a week. If you want to get there in 90 days, I'm going to get you there in 90 days. If you want to get there in a year, I'm going to go at whatever pace it is. And that's what our coaching program does. Whether it's me or someone else that you're assigned to, or someone else helping you out. I mean, me personally, I would rather it be me. But if you want to work with somebody else, based on personality types, if you want a woman or whatever the case is, then we can facilitate that. But I'm going to help you get where you're trying to go. And that's the point of the confidence catalyst. Take the guesswork out of whatever it is you're trying to do. And you see the roadmap, you see what you need to do. And it's a lot harder than people think. So get a coach. If it's not me, if it's not Confidence Catalyst as a program that you go through, find somebody. Myron Golden has a good one. I like Myron Golden. I think we got some similar principles when it comes to being successful. He has a similar background that I had growing up. So I would lean on Myron Golden, but you can look up anybody that you're trying to find. If you're trying to get into real estate, there's a bunch of real estate mentors out there outside of me that you might be able to relate to. So just do your due diligence, find somebody that makes sense for you, or you just keep watching free content on YouTube like I'm doing right now. But it's still going to be different than you getting a step-by-step guide or someone that you can call or text when you have a problem or a situation. They can address it for you right then based on their experience. That's the beautiful thing about having a mentor or a coach, because I'm going to say this again about my dad. I would say my dad was my mentor. However many questions I asked him, he was 98.9% right almost every single time. So if I ever had a problem, I would just call him. He would give me the answer. I mean, it didn't matter what it was. It could have been some illegal stuff, right? I mean, everybody got a pass. It could have been something crazy, right? He would give me the answer to it because he had done so much stuff. And so people say, man, you've lived 100 lives. I've lived 100 lives simply because I have done a bunch of stuff. I grew up fast. I grew up in certain environments. And when you're trying to learn and adapt, it goes back to what I just said. I didn't have a plan. I was coming up with things as I went throughout my life. And then when I ran into a roadblock, my dad grew up a certain way. He grew up in a certain environment. He ended up having a catering company. He did a lot of different things too. So I not only had my experiences and my resources, I also had my dad's. And then I got a mentor or a coach, right? And then I got another one. And then I had a mentor who was the millionaire that I speak about, who I learned how to, knowledge is the key. You know what I mean? The first millionaire that I knew, he gave me advice. So I had so much information to pull from. And that's why I was able to live 100 lifetimes in a short time frame, because I was so active with trying to achieve my goals and accomplish them. And I was just doing everything, trying to figure out who to go and just learning, just trying to do research. And that's what you got to do. So I feel like I will be beneficial to almost anybody because I got, multiple, life experiences that I can help with. But again, I'm not selling myself. I'm just telling you, I have experience with a lot of different things, and going through the Confidence Catalyst, we can kind of help you in any kind of area of your life. But anyway, I hope that you found this helpful. If you struggle with 1 through 7, it would be interesting to see how many other people are struggling with 1 through 7. And in the comments, leave in the comments your top 3 struggles that you're struggling with, and see if anybody else is struggling with those same 3. And I want to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hop in the comments, leave the top 3, and whatever the top 3 are on, I might do a deep dive on those 3 or do something on those top 3. But anyway, guys, change up the way you operate, get a coach or a mentor, be a lifelong learner, and change the 7 things if they're similar as mine and do something different. I gave you the option to be able to fix it, and I hope that it worked. All right, until next time, take care.